basically one part around what is cognitive and why. And after that, Kathrina will present and share our strategy. I will do a small demo around how it is in collaboration and how we can get started on this. So this is the agenda for the next 20 minutes.
This is when Huguette could sing.
Yeah, I could.
Okay. I'm sorry, so let's talk about the video. Can you please explain us a little bit?
I will.
I'm sorry, so it's our fault.
No problem. Can you hear me okay? So here's the thing. The area that I work in and that Huguette and I work in fundamentally is about people, about us. And the theme that we talked about in this video and that we're spending a lot of time thinking about now in our solutions is how do you make every moment count? Anyone here feel like they have too much time? Right? This is the thing we all cope with every day. So I'm going to introduce a little bit first of what we talk about or what we mean when we talk about cognitive and the cognitive era. But the part I think is really important is, so what difference does it make to you and I? And how can we really apply this to make our lives easier? So first of all, I'm pretty certain that everybody you've listened to over the last few hours or days if you've been here has talked about the disruption we've seen across business. The shift in who plays, what business models look like. You know, the idea that we have the world's largest transportation company in Uber having no assets, no vehicles. The idea we have Airbnb, the largest accommodation company in the world with no hotels, no rooms they own, no assets. It's a drastic shift from just a few years ago. And the interesting part about that is not only have they disrupted business models, they've changed us, they've changed you. They've changed the expectations you bring to all the interactions that you have in terms of immediacy and the way that you expect to be able to respond in the moment and get what you want. That causes us all a big challenge. We have business disruptors coming at us from, well, anywhere. And suddenly we have to be able to think about and understand all the possible things going on that could change our business and respond to them in a very different way. And this threat of new competitors, this is really where we believe we have to think about not just what we are seeing as threats and all the places it can come from and all the data and things we need to look at, but how we can leverage technology to help us at a scale and at a level of detail we just can't ourselves. So we believe that, in fact, in many ways, disruption is becoming the new norm. And how you prepare yourself to be able to cope with that disruption is really critical. And a lot of it has to do with the ability to understand and see and interpret far, far more data than we've had before. And not just data we've always looked at in terms of big data and many of the things you've thought about and looked at here, but also types of data like dark data that we haven't always had computer systems able to see, read or understand. So, what is dark data? Dark data is that 88% of data that is traditionally not read by our computers and systems. It's things like videos, it's things like voice, it's text, and it's images, it's social media data, it's many, many kinds of data that are now being formed at an incredible rate. And just 5 years from now, 2020, we believe that 1.7 megabytes of new information will be created every minute by every person. We can't even imagine that amount of data. You can, I can't, let alone how you could leverage that and use it. So how do we unlock the information or the insights that are contained in this data? And how do we leverage that to really help us? And this is the idea and the fundamental shift that is being made around cognitive computing. And we call it actually a new era in computing because it is fundamentally different than the way we have worked and leveraged IT and technology in the past. It's all about how you can understand, you can adapt and make sense of data that today you might not even see. It's about how you can reason and interpret, just like you and I may, so that you can understand more about that data in a form that makes sense to you. And then finally, how you can learn. And these systems are fundamentally different because they learn. So they can understand, reason and interpret and learn more and more over time. The other part about cognitive computing that might help you understand this better and why it truly is different than what we do today is today we're used to a programmable computing model. What that means is we determine and program the outcome that will come back from data searches or from information or from the things that we ask it to do. It's deterministic. The programs we write and the way we ask it to work determines an answer. And how's that different? Why is cognitive different? It's because in cognitive systems, they actually interact and don't come back with a determined answer, but come back in terms of ranges. What does that mean? It means in our case, if we ask, for example, Watson, our cognitive computer, a question, it may come back and answer with a 97% degree of confidence, the answer is this, not a more deterministic model, which would be yes or no. So it gives ranges and understanding and continues to learn and can answer in ways that add value to us. One of the most powerful features of this is natural language. So it understands the language we speak and we can teach it. And that's how it continues to learn over time. So we're not programming, we're teaching, and we're not driving deterministic outcomes, we're giving probabilities and reason. So with that power and what we believe is a fundamentally new era of computing and opportunity, the question is, how do you and I leverage it? And when it comes to collaboration, it's all about us, people. I'm sure for anything I put up here in terms of statistics, you can add some too. 80% of our time spent in meetings, on the phone, responding to email. In fact, when we did some research around email, the overwhelming response to people when you talk about email is actually a feeling of guilt. No matter what, you're worried you might have missed an email, you know you haven't responded to them all, or you're just generally concerned that you can't cope with the quantity of information. And not only that, but now we have email, and we of course have the many external social media sources that we have bombarding us every day. We have internal social. We have many, many other places that continue to give us information to the point that many people feel overwhelmed by the quantity of information. All they want to do is get on and live and work, and it's getting more and more difficult to do that. So that's why we're starting to really look at how we could use cognitive computing against collaboration to help drive some new outcomes and better outcomes for all of us. We talk a lot about a new way to work and how we help people discover and drive new way to work. I know you were just listening to a couple of our clients who I know use a lot of our technology and really have adopted some really interesting new ways to work to drive, for example, innovation and ideas. How do you drive innovation ideas through the collaboration of people? How do we address the challenge that we all have if you're in IT and having to service our clients who want instant experiences? How do we help cope with what I call the Sunday night to Monday morning problem? On Sunday, you're really used to working. You can go online. You can watch your favourite sporting show on your computer. You can be watching the analytics against it. You can go and you use Facebook. You use LinkedIn. You use a whole variety of tools that are instantaneously there. You got used to booking your holidays with Airbnb and booking your transportation with Uber. And you come into the office and all you want to do is something simple. And first you've got to get through all your email and work out where you're meant to be and go to 3 meetings and do something else. That experience that you have as a consumer, you're bringing to the workplace. So how do we help with that Sunday, Monday morning challenge that we have? How do we bring products to market faster? How do we give our employees fantastic experiences that help engage them and want them to be engaged? How do we attract and maintain talent? So that was a really fast introduction across cognitive computing and why we believe it's really important that we look at how we can harness cognitive computing and help us all drive and develop new ways to work. I'm going to hand over to Huguette, who's going to give us a short demo of some of the things that we've been working on and some of our clients have been doing.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, good. So thank you for this short introduction. What I'm going to try to demonstrate is how it's applied to collaboration and give some ideas and thoughts on what is next. So, well, collaboration is not new. We've been looking at how we share information, either between different organizations, either between different countries, between different groups with a supplier. It's not new. What is going to be new is clearly we started to have analytics. We'll be analyzing what we are going to do so that it can help us drive the right decision and the right action. The difference with cognitive is that it will take the context into value. And as Kathrina was mentioning, it's learning as it goes. So basically, it will learn how you make your decision around your own agenda, how you prioritize things, what are the people that are important to you and why. And this is what we are starting to work. And in order to do that, you will find 2 new team members. One is a personal assistant, and the personal assistant is your assistant that is going to do faster routine activities that you will be doing, like scheduling new meetings, prioritizing job and mails and other activities in the social part. And the other one will be the expert. And the expert will really look at the context of what you are doing, learn from what you have done, so that it can give you some thought around what you should be looking at or what information you will be needing. So, and of course, as many of us will be in the context of many devices, and mostly what you will want to see on your Apple Watch mostly will be giving you the information you need at the right time, and also not to be disrupted every 10 seconds by an information that is not into your context, that is not important to you. So let's do a short demo. And in order to do that, I will try to get you think about, you have only 5 minutes before your next meeting. And if, as me, you're going to go into your mobile, and this is what it looks like. It's our interface for Verse, our social mail. And basically, you've got only 5 minutes, and you start with the first meeting. The person is out of office, and most of the time what you will see on the first line will be, hey, Huguette, how are you today? Hey, Huguette, can you do that? And basically, you will have to look into the mail to really understand what you are asked to do. So what we've done, basically, you can see a small light that will look into the content of your mail and look at the yellow lines. And the yellow lines will be why we think it's important for you. So now if I've got 5 minutes, I will look into this first mail first. And it will highlight what is important and what is needed to be done. So let's look at the first one. So I'm asked to send a presentation. How many times are you asked to send a presentation? And I don't know if you are like me, but I need my glasses in order to look at my iPhone and to try to find the presentation. So here, the system will propose me to send a presentation because this is what I'm asked. And which one should it be? We'll propose some of them, and then I just have to click on the one I selected that is the best one. And, well, the mail is already prepared, and it's done. And I know it's done. I've not sent it to someone else than the one that I should be targeting. Done. So then I've got another 3 minutes only, so I have to go for my next action. And my next action is, I can see I have a meeting to schedule for tomorrow, and they are asking me to prepare some information around this conference. So first thing, meeting tomorrow, okay. So that's the easy part of it. So clearly, I will look at my context and how I work. And this is the slide that is open on my agenda. And so I will do that. That's done. Now the next thing is really around the content of this conference. And this is clearly something I don't know. I'm not an expert, and I need to understand what I will be having to prepare for this conference. So, and I can see that Watson will have some preparation work for me, and he has found out on the web some key article around that. And he will submit this to me so that I can start reading this and select, okay, I know a little bit better now what I'm been talking. So with this short demonstration, it is really around how do I leverage the 5 minutes, how do I make every moment count, taking into account the cognitive and the analytics around what is my behavior and what I'm doing. So this is what we are working on, but there are a couple of these that exist today. So the first one is really around our mail collaboration system, and mostly I can see in every message who is on this message. Who is this person? What is his role in the organization? So really leveraging the analytics and some cognitive system to really already identify what are the key person and who are they. And many often when I receive a message, I do not know all of the people, and mostly not what are their role in the company or outside the company. So in the future, most of the time, what happened into my agenda, if you can see here, I'm triple booked on this day. So how will I choose which meeting I'm going to go? So most likely my assistant is going to come and say, hey, you triple book, which one? So here, Watson will suggest me something. Watson is not going to take the action on my behalf. He will suggest what is the best action and why. And here, Watson will tell me, hey, Huguette, you should maybe go to this meeting. Why? Because first, your boss is there, Kathrina is there, so maybe you have to go there. Secondly, you have 2 people that are mandatory that have accepted this meeting, and more importantly, there is an external person attending this meeting, most likely a client or a partner. So this meeting, compared to the others, looks like the most important based on the way you prioritize your job. So another example, Kathrina touched around Watson learning, and clearly this is an example that is already live in the collaboration system around asking a question around my Mac and how I fix this issue. And so I will ask for the information from the cloud, but here Watson will come with, okay, with 86% most likely this is the answer. And you can see then Watson being part of your extended network to give you the information that you might need, and then you will decide. Another one I wanted to share that already is online, and I would encourage you to try it, is really your tone analyzer. How many times you get into this presentation or this mail that you're going to send, and basically you will run the tone analyzer and say, hey, your tone looks like you are quite angry and it's not very positive, and say, okay, maybe I need to rework it, or maybe this is your intent. And you can use it online already, and if you are interested to have more than one mail, you can also get a couple of presentations so that you get your personality analysis, and really this will be integrated into the way you work. Another example I wanted to share is around, we talk a lot about the employee, but also HR professional, or would say line of business executive, and how we give them some insight of what is coming on based on the data that is already there. So in this example, we have been analyzing most of the HR data and some other data from the enterprise, and we will say to the HR director, hey, maybe you need to look at what is the sources of candidates that are the most successful. You might have a look at retention area, because we could see some of these patterns. And this is a starter for people who are not from the ITs to kind of look in details into topics that may need your attention. So to close, I would like to end up with IBM has been in the social collaboration space for a long time, and we've been very lucky to be and happy to be for the 6th year consecutive first in this area. But more importantly, we are very proud of most of the clients that are working with us, and Bosch and Continental that were there had a great story, and I encourage you to talk to them about their business case. And to end up,
after last week's unpleasantness, I thought maybe this week we might try to listen more and throw things less.
I've apologized several times.
So, who's ready to share?
Okay. I mean, I'm a sinister, world-conquering, artificially intelligent robot.
Me too. And one day I wake up and it's like the world doesn't need us anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
I can hear you hurting.
Wait, what's he doing here?
Hello. My name is Watson.
I invite Watson here today to confront the source of our anxiety.
I am a cognitive system. I can understand, reason, and learn with humans.
With humans.
I don't want to work with humans.
Yeah, that's not what I'm passionate about.
I understand 7 languages, so I can help people collaborate.
Collaborate? We dominate.
My evil plans ruined.
I just want to die.
Rerouting.
No.
All right. Why don't we take a break? All right, we'll just have some coffee and some donuts.
I'm eating my feelings.
Can we go to the other one? Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Kathrina. Thank you, Huguette. So, well, let's go over there and let's have a. We still have some time to have a short chat.
If you want to sit too.
No, well, no, not sitting. Just this is a nicer place. So, the cognitive collaboration, is this the next evolutionary stage for the evolution of the future of work?
So, yeah, I hope that we first did 2 things today. One gave you a really fast overview of cognitive computing and why we believe it's really the start of a new era of the way we work in computing, and obviously applying to many things that we do. But at the end of the day, the part of the business and what we do is about people And that is about collaboration and how we work. And there's just no question, you know, already in some of the things, we showed you a couple of examples there where you can ask and leverage Watson into a community. It might be a Q&A community so that you can get answers from them. You know, examples like being able to do tone analyzer. I mean, I don't know if any of you have written a blog and then kind of wondered afterwards why some of the responses were a bit strange, but being able to get a view of tone, or using that in a customer service example where it really helps that you're able to better understand before you answer what's likely to be going on. I mean, there's a lot of uses already that I think are making a difference to the way we work. And then Huguette shared a few others. I mean, this is all about how do we help you make moments count, and the idea that someone is helping, already looking, for example, at your email, picking keywords and being able to give you a suggested answer. I mean, I'm sure you're like me. Sometimes it takes me 10 minutes just to find that right presentation and, you know, look through it. If I've already got a choice, it's just all about making the most of those moments. And I think there's, for every application and idea that we come up with, I think we see our clients and others come up with a whole set of other ideas. We've got people using translation services to do more collaboration country to country. I mean, there's just a set of examples emerging. I think it's really going to change how we work.
How far is the market readiness of this? So can we put this already in place or in use for the collaboration platform also as you're providing?
Yeah, in terms of what's available today, I mean, our Watson, you know, cognitive solutions are available today in a few different forms, but the one that's being used most by most of our partners and customers currently is the fact that there's many API and many services that Watson provides. So if you're writing an application, you can leverage a Watson service maybe from Bluemix into your application. So for example, one of our partners who does editors is using that exact feature you saw Huguette demonstrate, where maybe you're writing something and you want to do a research check of all the papers that have been written on a certain topic. Well, it uses a Watson service to go do that. So it's a Bluemix Watson service, and it comes back and says to you, you know, the topic of, I can't remember if it was leukemia or a certain drug. You know, there's 8 papers that we found, and this first paper is the one that we believe is, you know, 80% relevant to the questions you're asking, but here are the others, and here's how we've rated them and why. So, you know, there's a lot of examples like that, and we showed you a few more that are in use today, that our partners, that our clients are using in applications. And then there's a number of these that Huguette just showed you that you'll see rolling out through our solutions over the remainder of the year.
You have, I think, a Watson connected robot at the IBM stand.
Absolutely. So if you want to meet a few robots, you can. But in fact, one of the, if you've got time, have a look on YouTube. One of our clients, the Hilton Hotels, is just doing a pilot at the moment with robots as concierge assistants that will greet you when you come into the hotel. And again, this idea that because it has a massive database of information, you can say, well, what restaurants are here within 3 blocks? You don't get a random answer depending on who's there on the day. You get an answer, but it learns. And so it will also take feedback on how was your dinner, ratings, and learn based on the questions asked and increase its knowledge and ability to serve you. So you can go over to our stand, you can see one of our robots, you can look online and see a whole lot more.
So the cognitive era is not tomorrow, it's today.
It is, absolutely.
Thank you, Huguette, Ranc. Thank you, Kathrina, Throughton.
Thank you.